Welcome back.
The York Revolution is on Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK.
Onto the track, it is gone! It's gone!
Revs Baseball is brought to you by People's Bank, Wellspan Sports Medicine, Shipley Energy, Maple Donuts, Broadway Transmission, Flying Feet, Dasher Investment Services, York Mitsubishi, Kochman Kunkel Insurance Group, Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care, Rudders, Pennsylvania Lottery, PSECU, Kona Ice, York County Bar Association, and by Downtown Inc.
Swing and a deep drive to right field. Watch this one go. He fires. Game over. Base hit. It's a fair ball. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. He slides. He's in. Revs win it.
Now, with the call of today's game, here's the voice of the York Revolution, Darryl Henry.
Good evening, everyone, from Clipper Magazine Stadium here in downtown Lancaster. Welcome to game number 68 of York Revolution Baseball. Tonight, it is the next to last scheduled game of the first half before the All-Star break. Revs have that makeup game at Southern Maryland, of course, as well. But the middle game of 3 this weekend here in Lancaster, and the Revs tonight going for a new franchise record as they aim for a 9th consecutive win. Hi again, everybody. Darryl Henry alongside Brett Petrak. Welcome to Revs Baseball here on a hot July evening here at the Clip. The Revs have won 8 straight. That streak, or I should say 18 of 21 also. That streak beginning with a 7-game winning streak, and now currently on an 8-gamer, which ties the franchise record. Revs have also won 5 straight on the road, tying a franchise record. And Brett, a great game here last night, a 6-4 win, staying alive in the first half race. Sugar Land did win, so it is down to its last threads here this evening. But if they can get a Sugar Land loss in Connecticut and keep on winning, it is still doable, and it's incredible that they've even put themselves in this position.
We talk about that all the time, and this run has just been absolutely spectacular. You look at a team that's won 8 straight games, winning for them, that's been the key, obviously. So really, you want to get yourself in a position where you control the outcome, and that tonight will have to result with a Sugar Land loss and a win here today. Then the next 2 games, really, you're in control. You win, you get it, and I like that situation a lot better than having to watch scoreboard. So let's hope Sugar Land can go down and keep this thing alive. But I'm looking up at the scoreboard in Lancaster now. They have our record at 33-34, which when we were here for the first series, it was god-awful. It was something like 18-31, right when we were in the teeth of the first streak they went on. But still, the differential between being a 500 team was definitely a lot bigger than 1 game. So for them to fight back all the way here, just be 1 game back, it is so impressive. And I really want them to get this done with not only breaking the record for winning streaks here tonight, but hopefully with a little magic over in New Britain, be able to play themselves into a possible playoff berth.
Yeah, and we'll certainly keep you updated tonight. And no matter what happens, the Revs have totally turned their season around, and it has been a blast here on this stretch. Last night it continued with a 6-4 win. Some of the highlights from last night's game: big night for Wellington Dotel. He tied the game in the 4th.
The 2-2 is swung on and hit to right center field. Going back now is Gindel, still going back, and that one is gone! Wellington Dotel ties this game at 2 with an opposite field shot deep to right center. Great at bat for him. Worked Lakin, fouled off a handful of pitches, found one he liked, and deposited for his 2nd longest home run of the year. Guy has been mashing, and that is the perfect time to do so.
Dotel tied it. Revs fell behind, but an inning later tied it again and went in front to stay thanks to Telvin Nash.
Lakin's still in there. He'll face Telvin Nash. The first pitch to him is swung on and crushed to right field. There's no doubt about this one as it bounces over the stay cool sign into the street back there in right field. as he gives the Revs the lead at 5-3, their first of the game, home run number 21 in the first half for Telvin. And just like that, it's a 5-3 lead.
Yeah, the bullpen was the other big part of the story last night, and nobody bigger than the guy who will be our pregame guest this evening. Pete Tago, on his 27th birthday, came in with 2 men on, then a bloop single, made it bases loaded, no outs with a 1-run lead. He got all 3 outs and got out of it. Now ready once more, another 1-2, and a swing and a line drive, left field, Dotel, and he runs it down! Inning over, nobody scores! Bases loaded, no outs, and Pete Tago works out of it. Strikeout, foul out, and a fly to shallow left, and that Revs dugout erupts. The lead stays intact. Before that, it was Corey Walter. After Tago, it was Josh Judy, and then in the 9th inning, Jamison McGrain nailing it down. McGrain has his sign again. Another payoff. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Got him up high to end it. And for the 4th time in Revs history and first time since 2011, the Revs have won 8 in a row. And they stay alive in the first half race, a 6-4 win here in Lancaster tonight. Their 5th straight win here at the Clip. And over the last 3 weeks, winning streaks of 7 and now 8. It has been an unbelievable stretch of baseball for this team in the first half. Story is not finished yet. Tonight it'll be Dan Miner coming back from the blister that's cost him a couple turns in the rotation. He is 4-4 with a 4.66 ERA. Lefty Buddy Bauman, who the Revs have beaten up here this season, he is 2-7 with an ERA of 4.20. That is your matchup on the mound tonight. Coming up on our pregame, we chat with Pete Tago, the birthday boy yesterday. We'll hear from Mace shortly as well. First pitch tonight set for 6:30 here from the Clip on Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK.
The Atlantic League's brightest stars shine in the Atlantic League All-Star Game at Peoples Bank Park on Wednesday, July 10th. A celebration 8 years in the making. The party starts with free family fun in the Judgment-Free Fun Zone presented by Planet Fitness. Watch the biggest hitters slug it out in the 2019 All-Star Home Run Derby. Appearances by the Superstars. After the game, the biggest fireworks in ballpark history presented by AAA Southern PA. Tickets and details at allstargameyork.com or 717-801-4487.
Downtown's ready. Are you? The Revs play here. Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK, York.
Welcome back. Pregame from Lancaster tonight. Pete Tago, our guest, coming off the birthday day victory last night. Pete, congratulations. Pretty good way to spend the birthday, huh?
Yeah, it was awesome. Just coming out with the big win, for sure. It was cool.
When you come into the game, now you came in with 2 guys on, they kind of get a bloop hit off of you, so you got to work out of all that in a 1-run game. What's on your mind in that spot?
The biggest thing coming out of the bullpen is just throwing strikes. So no matter what the situation is, I just want to come in and throw strikes. We have an awesome defense. Obviously, our offense is hot right now. So I'm not thinking about anything else other than throwing strikes and trying to execute quality pitches.
You got some good stuff. What do you like to feature out there?
I only have 2 pitches, fastball and a slider. So pretty good fastball. I like to challenge guys. I want early contact, so I'm trying to throw my stuff, my pitches in the zone, let my defense work.
When you had the year off last year and you think back to a couple of years ago, do you feel like your stuff is back to where it was?
I would say it's getting there. I was getting more swings and misses in 2017. But the 3 biggest things for me is just strike percentage, just throwing more strikes over the plate, I get swings and misses on both pitches, which is good, but if I don't throw it over the plate, then I won't get my swings and misses, obviously. And then damage control. I want to be able to come in the ballgame and basically what I'm doing right now, I mean, that's my role, past 2-3 weeks, is coming in with runners in scoring position and stopping the bleeding. So, I mean, I feel like I'm getting there. It's just crazy because I'm back in the game, after a year, taking a year off. So, but I think mentally, I'm better than I've ever been.
Yeah. Talking with Pete Tago, and my understanding during the year away, you were doing some high school coaching, right? How much did you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was fun. It was cool to share my experiences with the kids and just share my knowledge of the game of what I know, which, I mean, I got drafted in 2010, so it wasn't a lot, but it was enough to, give them a different perspective. So I really enjoyed it. A great opportunity. But yeah.
I know living in Arizona now, but you grew up, was it Southern California?
Yeah, I grew up in Dana Point, California. Yeah. Southern Cal, yeah.
You an LA fan growing up, Angels or Dodgers?
Dodgers for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we watched the Dodgers, and then we watched the Long Beach State Dirtbags.
Okay.
So those were the two teams. Oh, obviously the Lake Show.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say Lakers or Clippers right now.
No, never the Clippers, never ever. It's gonna be the Battle of LA, but I mean, come on, the Lake Show.
How long have you been in Arizona now?
Let's see, moved there in 2014.
Okay.
I love it. I love it there. It's great.
When you're not doing this, what do you like to do when you're off the baseball field, when you're away from the game?
Some of my hobbies. Honestly, I just need to be by some water. Go to the beach. Hang out with the family. Like, we're always barbecuing.
Yeah.
We're competing in some fashion, whether it's cards or whatever. But I like going up to Flagstaff and just kind of disconnecting. Yeah. And yeah, man, I don't really do too much. Like, this baseball's my life, man.
Well, and it's been so much fun these past few weeks. Where do you think, from your perspective, being in the bullpen group, where did you see this turnaround start to take shape?
To be honest, I always knew that our pitching staff was legit. I felt like we just haven't had the luck that we do now and the confidence that we do now earlier in the year. We just couldn't really piece it together, but I think our pitching staff has been the same. We've had some moves, some trades, some releases, stuff like that. But I think we've been pretty consistent all year. It's just everything's just clicking on all cylinders. Our offense, we're playing fundamentally sound, and from a pitching standpoint, we're just passing it to the next guy.
Yeah.
One guy comes in, gets the job done, and we know, hey, you know what, he did his job, it's my turn now. And I think everyone down in the bullpen anticipates that their name's going to get called, and they're just, when the name gets called, they're not surprised that they're in the ballgame.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And everyone's working their butt off day in, day out, wanting to perform. So I'm not surprised that we're here now.
I think most teams, if there was a most fun area to hang out during the game, it would probably be the bullpen. How cool is that group on this team?
Oh, it's awesome. It's the best. Just the mentality and the work ethic, and the character of the guys. It's just a great balance, great mixture. Not to mention, we hang out in the dugout for a couple innings, so we get to kind of gel and kind of root each other on in the dugout to start the game, and then we go down there and, we kind of get crazy and get our minds right, to go and dominate when it's our turn.
Well, Pete, congratulations on the birthday win. Thanks a lot for a few minutes tonight, and again, happy belated birthday to you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, Revs pitcher Pete Tago joining us. We'll check in with Mace coming up next.
The Atlantic League's brightest stars shine in the Atlantic League All-Star Game at Peoples Bank Park on Wednesday, July 10th. A celebration 8 years in the making. The party starts with free family fun in the Judgment-Free Fun Zone presented by Planet Fitness. Watch the biggest hitters slug it out in the 2019 All-Star Home Run Derby. Appearances by the Superstars. After the game, the biggest fireworks in ballpark history presented by AAA Southern PA. Tickets and details at allstargameyork.com or 717-801-4487.
Fans, it's time to go inside the clubhouse for the latest on your York Revolution and tonight's matchup. It's time for the Broadway Transmission Managers Report. Now, here's the manager of the Revs, Mark Mason.
All right, Mace. Well, last night the win, a lot of that was certainly about the bullpen, and I know Mitch had to battle a little bit more than he often does. He sometimes makes it look easy, but the bullpen, 5 innings to finish last night was really terrific.
Yeah, the bullpen they were incredible last night, and Mitch, he had good stuff. He was a little bit off, just a little bit off. I think Gindel ambushed him right out of the gate to start the game, and Mitch just threw, I think, kind of get-ahead fastball right there, and Caleb just he let it fly, and so, when the game starts off with, back-to-back homers, I think, you start to wonder if your stuff's any good that night. But, Mitch, he settled in. He's around. He knows stuff can happen like that. But, the pitch count was really high. We were almost 89, 90 after 4 innings. So, our bullpen was pretty well rested. We didn't, we were off the night before and really didn't use all that many guys in Southern Maryland. So it was good to see those guys come through.
And then offensively, the big shots were to the opposite field. I know you don't want to give all of the the credit to Chair BP, but it was used last night.
Yes, Chair BP was used last night, but I just think that's the approach. You know what's going to happen here, and we pitch their guys the same way. So, you're not going to let people, beat you there, to that part of the field. So, hats off to a lot of guys last night that did a really good job. And, I thought that, with us putting Corey into the bullpen last night, with him having gotten rained out the night before, those couple innings that he ate up for us right there, they were pretty crucial as well.
Well, one thing I noticed, and it was before last night, but Henry Castillo is going just left-handed now, and he did continue that again last night. But do you expect that is that a permanent thing, at least for now, for him?
Yeah, I hope not. Just because you struggle a little bit from one side when you're a switch hitter, that happens to all switch hitters. You're going to struggle a little bit more from one side than the other. But, I want him to switch hit. I think it's good for his career. It's something he's been doing. I just think he's not comfortable with it right now, so that's why he's staying on the left side. And mainly, I think he's just trying to take that changeup away that he might see when he's on the right side. So, the only problem is when you're going left on left, that brings the breaking ball into play. So, that's you pick your poison. I guess I'm either gonna stay away from the changeup right-handed or the breaking ball left-handed, and they just kind of go from there.
And then on the other side of things, Rondon, who used to be a switch hitter, had gone away from that, but we saw him hit right-handed the other night. Is that becoming a thing for him again?
Well, he and I had a conversation. I said, hey, when I signed you, I thought I signed a switch hitter. So I was just messing with him, though. But, no, he's another one, too. He should keep swinging it from both sides. He said from the right side it was a lot of ground balls to third and strikeouts, and I said, well, but you can still learn how to do some things from the right side. I remember him hitting right-handed against us at times, and he did pretty well. So, those guys that are middle infielders and, that can run a little bit, especially him, because he can bunt from both sides and get on base. So I really would like to see him to continue also.
Well, we didn't get a chance to discuss it yesterday with kind of a shorter show last night, but a big news day yesterday. You had 8 All-Stars announced from your team, and probably could have been 10 if Sportman and Mesa were healthy. The sheer number that you got, and really team-wide, everybody was struggling until 3 or 4 weeks ago. How did it strike you when you found out just how many were selected?
Well, you don't want to say you're shocked because you see these guys play every day, but, to see that many guys get voted in is, that says something about them and the way we've been playing here for the past month. But, it's everybody's deserving. There's no question. So, I'm happy for all those guys, and, hopefully they'll have a great game on Wednesday, and, hopefully I won't screw it up too bad and put them in some good situations where they can excel and have some fun.
And then the other piece of news was Sportman being named the League Player of the Month, and that's always a lot of fun when you get league-wide recognition for an entire month. He obviously deserved that.
Well, I mean, he had a hit almost in every game, in the month of June. So, especially I think when the month of June started, his average was probably 230, 240-ish, somewhere in there. And, now he's at, 320, 330 almost. So, I mean, that just goes to show you, and especially with the amount of at-bats that you accumulate to have your average go up that much. I mean, you have to have a lot of multiple hit nights and things like that. So, it's unfortunate again, that he's hurt because he was on a tear. And, that's his second injury in the first half, which the dislocated finger and now the hit by pitch. So, hopefully the second half when he gets back here, he'll be able to stay healthy and finish it.
Lastly, you've got Dan Minard tonight coming off the blister. Do you expect him to, as long as that finger stays intact, do you expect him to get back to where he was?
We hope. I mean, that's always the hope. When a guy misses a couple starts, you're never quite sure about the rhythm and the adrenaline, how that's going to affect him when he gets in the game. But, I mean, Danny's pretty much the same guy every day. He doesn't seem to get too up or too down. I think physically the blister part is fine. So, we just have to go out there and execute his pitches. That's all.
All right, Mace, thanks a lot. Good luck.
Yep, thank you.
All right, Revs manager Mark Mason on the Broadway Transmission Managers Report. Barnstormers have taken the field tonight, and we've gone through all the pregame stuff, probably to get dumped on here soon. There is pretty dark skies off toward the west, getting reports from back home that some nasty stuff coming over, but we'll see.
Well, gotta pray here, and this is going to be the closest we've seen a Lancaster game start towards the projected time, at least first pitch-wise, so that's encouraging.
Wow.
we are really close to being on time here today.
It's only 2 minutes late. Revs lineup brought to you by Flying Feet. Justin Trapp in center leads off. Henry Castillo at second. Talbot Nash, the DH, hits third. Isaias Tejeda at first base, batting cleanup. Carlos Franco, third baseman, hitting fifth. Wellington Dotel in left, bats sixth. And Ryan Dennett short. Angelos Nina in right. James Skelton catching. And our Dasher Investment Services first pitch is in for a strike on Trapp. And we got it in before it switched to 6:33.
Well, they did not have everyone off the field first.
Small detail. As Trapp swings and misses, it is 0-2.
Morin and Bill Reuter were a little concerned there as the gate was still open and Silo and friends were trying to trudge off the field. It's a dangerous game to play.
Now swinging a fly foul out of play to the right.
I've never seen that before. I mean, how many games have I watched? Never seen that happen. I was like, what are they looking at? Looked like a strike to me. They can't be looking at the dugout. Guy's still getting off the field.
Pitch is up and in. 1-2 on Trapp. I believe it's a first for me as well.
Oh, man, it's dangerous. That's like line drive foul ball territory. Ballboy would have had to make a tremendous diving stop.
Now fastball high and wide. 2-2 on Trapp. He's hitting at 302. He's been held hitless the last two games. The 4 before that, he was 12 for 20. Bauman goes from the stretch. Lefty fires and a swing and a pop foul back. Trapp last night was retired on the first pitch of the game, but here tonight, a lengthy at-bat with Bauman to start things.
You like to see that too. Bauman, a converted reliever. They've stretched him out, to say the least.
He fires and a swing and a foul straight back again. This one upstairs.
In game one of that doubleheader in which the Revs hit 3 home runs off of him, it was, what, an 115 pitch outing for him?
Around that, yeah.
It's a lot in any league.
Pitch. Swinging a chop foul over by the third base dugout. You know, we might have a rain delay before the first at bat is over.
One batter, then rain, tarp on. I mean, that's a little deja vu for you, huh?
I'm afraid so.
But it looks like
there's a swing and a foul again, right side and out of play.
Feel like they're well aware of the weather, and you know, it's pretty obvious. There's some really dark clouds around here.
And it says storm starting in about 10 minutes.
Oh, boy. Gotta love it. It's weird being up here. You know, I don't have to worry about the tarp.
Pitch to Trapp. He swings, skies it to center. Sanford positions, now comes in. And he will make the grab for the game opening out. It is 91 degrees at game time. Temperature and weather brought to you by Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care.
One good thing about the weather so far in these dark clouds is the sun isn't mercilessly beating in on us in this booth, which it does sometimes, setting behind the board in left field. That's a positive.
It is beautifully cloudy here at the Clip. Here's Henry Castillo. We talked with Mace pregame about the left-hand hitting. He's staying with it here. First pitch from Bauman is down and away. And it's been a rough go from the right, but Mace doesn't want him to totally abandon that. But for now he is. Pitch is inside. It got him in the hand. And Castillo, shaking his hand, slams his helmet down, goes to a knee, halfway over toward first base. Here comes Mason Chong. And if he has to come out of the game, that makes 4 in the last 2 weeks.
Man, I don't know how you can get so unlucky or something that could just happen to be so devastating that many times. And Henry's in a considerable amount of pain. Thought it might have caught him inside on the ribs, which initially looked to be the case, but no, it's the hand again. And my goodness, this is probably the worst curse that has ever been put on this team so far. Guys can't throw strikes.
Yeah, it's not our fault that nobody can throw strikes.
And we're not plunking guys constantly.
He started his hands forward, and it was not a breaking ball. It stayed straight, and then he couldn't get him out of the way. He's unhooking the leg guards in the armor. And by some good fortune, he will stay in this game for now. We've had some other guys stay in and then leave.
It looked like the left forearm is where he's showing the attention to. And there's 2 things that can happen there. Obviously, we saw the worst case scenario with J.P. Sportman breaking a bone in there, but you know, if it's just a bruise, if it caught a fatty enough spot on Henry's arms, maybe just a big-time stinger, and that would be huge. Big-time break, if that to be the case.
Well, here is Talvin Nash. Make him pay. First pitch is in at the knees for a strike. Nash had 2 home runs off Bauman when they met here on June 15th. The game in York, where the Revs put up 8 against him in 2 2/3, Melky had the big game. Here's a swing and a foul out of play right side. Melky had a 5 RBI game with a homer against him in York, which was May 25th, also against Dan Miner. And over here, it was Nash who homered twice and Nina who homered once. Pitch is inside. Talvin jumps back.
I mean, it's crazy. I'm worried every time a pitch comes in now inside with all these hit batters. It's absolutely terrible. And Nash, it'll help you. We love playing Revs trivia up here with you, all being knowledge of everything Revs. He's the history man against Talvin.
Fastball away. 2-2 on Talvin.
So when you get that question, whether it be from myself or a different broadcast assistant 10 years in the future who threw the home run ball to Talvin Nash from the break the record.
Ground ball pulled foul down past the Revs' third base dugout. You are on a 10-year contract, Brett.
Well, my goodness, I'd be just a little younger than you would be right now. Old man.
Bauman, some horrific numbers against York. He fires and misses way outside. Against the Revs, he's 0-2 with an 11.17 ERA, 9 2/3, 12 runs, 16 hits, 4 homers. I mentioned overall, he's 2-7 with a 4.20. Pitch to Nash, he swings, fouls it straight back.
This is 2 fantastic at-bats we've seen this inning. First one being from Justin Trapp. Now Nash with a full count, staying hungry, fouling some balls off, getting that pitch count up. And we talked about it last night, how bad Lancaster's pen's been. So you do this and take out the starter early. It's going to be fruitful.
He had a big sigh after that pitch. He's getting frustrated. Now he'll make a move over to first. Castillo back standing. Talbot a homer and a double last night. The home run is 21st, which leads the league. He's 2 away from a Revs single half record. First or second half. Pitch is a check swing down low. Appeal to first. No swing. Ball 4 on the appeal. He works out a full count walk. And the Revs with 2 on. Our plate ump tonight is Bill Worthington. Joe Del Balso making that call at first. Bill Reuter is at third. The Revs, by the way, are in their Navy jerseys again tonight. Lancaster again is in the lime green for mental health awareness here in the War of the Roses series. They're 2 on for Tejeda, who was held hitless last night. But the 3 games before that, 10 for 13. 2 4-hit games and a 2. And he swings, shoots one at first. It's caught and a lob to second for a double play. A soft liner low to the ground. Looked like it might get through, but Ternaslovich was well off the line. Playing Tejeda to pull, he reached down to backhand the catch and lobs to Martinez to end the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 man left. We played a half tonight. Revs nothing, Barnstormers coming up.
The Atlantic League's brightest stars shine in the country's first capital. The fun and excitement of the Atlantic League All-Star Game returns to People's Bank Park on Wednesday, July 10th. Don't miss a celebration 8 years in the making and right here in your backyard. The 3-time Atlantic League champion York Revolution fills the Brooks Robinson Plaza with free family fun in the judgment-free fun zone presented by Planet Fitness. Then the league's biggest hitters slug it out in the 2019 All-Star Home Run Derby. During the game, the wacky superstars bring laugh after laugh in their only York appearance this season. And after the game, the Star-Blazing Spectacular, the biggest fireworks display in ballpark history, launches from center field presented by AAA Southern Pennsylvania. It's the party of the summer and only at People's Bank Park. The 2019 Atlantic League All-Star Game. Tickets and details at allstargameyork.com or 717-801-4487. That's 717-801-HITS.
Are you on your way to work right now? Trudging along and heading to the same job you're just not too enthused about any longer? Hearing this ad might just mean it's your lucky day. Give your career a reboot with the York Post Office. The York Post Office is now hiring rural mail carriers. Work in a fast-paced, dynamic environment. Hiring for non-career positions with career eligibility. Starting at $17.78 per hour with all eligible for health benefits. Suitable vehicle for delivery is required on some routes. Get your foot in the door on a new career today. Apply online at USPS.com.
Cannonball Charlie's ready. Are you? The Revs play here. Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK, York.
Dan Miner back at it tonight. This will be his first start since his second blister issue that shortened a start, which was June 22nd. He fires a strike in on Darian Sanford, who leads off tonight. Get you the Lancaster lineup here momentarily. Here's the wind, the 0-1, and a fastball missing up and in. Twice Miner has had to leave with a blister. He's pitched very well in both. June 22nd against Somerset, 4 innings, 1 run. Revs won the game handedly. Pitch is fouled back off the top left corner of the net. 1-2. Sanford, a .254 hitter, league leader in steals with 29. And batting him leadoff tonight. He was at the bottom of the order last night. Miner with the pitch. Inside, it nails Sanford in the feet. So a leadoff hit by pitch. And each team now with 1 here in the first inning, but Dan obviously didn't want to do that. He was ahead, and now you've got one of the all-time great base stealers in recent years in the league on base.
Well, if it's anything like Mitch, how he handled Sanford yesterday, we might not make it out of the first without getting the rain here. And that's what you have to do with a guy like Sanford. You got to keep him honest, keep checking him.
Here's Michael Martinez, who homered last night, hit a home run off Minor here on May 25th. Or excuse me, June 16th, May 25th, Minor's home start against Lancaster. 2-0 against the Barnstormers. First pitch is down and away, just missing. Now Minor 4-4 with a 4.66 ERA. Sanford held by Tejeda over at first. On the 1-0, he fakes going, it misses low. Oh no, it didn't, it's called a strike. It certainly looked low from here, but Minor gets the call. Skelton came out ready to throw, but Sanford was only faking.
That was an epic frame job from Skelton to be able to do that and get up ready to throw out Sanford, I should say. And he does that quite a bit as well, the fake steal, trying to get you to get out of your comfort zone.
1-1, swinging a foul tip to the netting. Martinez hitting .278. Last night his 5th home run. He's driven in 30. The Lancaster lineup brought to you by Flying Feet. Sanford in center, Martinez at short, Caleb Gindel on deck and right. Cleanup man Dan Gamache at second. We'll get you the rest here in a moment. As Dan leans, staring in, now steps off. Joe Trdoslavich at first base hits 5th. Destin Hood, left fielder, batting 6th. And then it's Andrew Applin DHing, Parker Morin catching, Zach Shank at 3rd. Pitch, Sanford fakes again. Martinez swings, fouls it back, out of play. It was a 21-pitch first inning for Bauman with all of the Revs foul balls. Martinez making Minor work a little bit. Minor beat the Barnstormers 11-3 at home May 25th, and then 7-2 over here on Father's Day. He fires, and a swing and a fly ball straight away center. Trap comes in, it's shallow, he's there, he's got it with some lightning flickering behind him. And there's one away here in the first inning.
Good pitch there, got him way out ahead of it. Trap, that was easy. It had to take a couple of steps in. Cool aesthetic there with lightning striking pretty much at the same time that Trap made the squeeze. Oh man, so how long are they saying the rain might be? It's quite the amount of cloud cover out here.
I don't even want to know. With an early game tomorrow, I don't even want to think about it. Here's Caleb Gindel. First pitch fastball, that's just inside, and Minor wants to know, as do I, where that missed. It looked like it was right there.
Perfect spot to attack Gindel too. Don't let those arms get extended. Thought it was a good pitch.
Bill stands there with his hands on his hips, digging in. On the 1-0, Sanford does run this time. Pitch, a strike, throw down, Dent reaching back for the tag, and Sanford got around him to the very back corner of second base. On a head first slide, what a great throw, but Sanford still manages to steal his 30th.
Oh, he didn't have the wheels go in the start. It was a slow jump for him, and the throw was right on, but when you steal as many bases as that man does, you know all the tricks to get in on the slide, and did just that. Got the perfect spot with Dent having to reach back just a tad.
Now 1-1 count on Gindel. Minor the pitch. It's in the dirt. Skelton blocks it, couldn't find it. Sanford took one step toward third, thought better of it. It looks like the Storms could last a long time, Brett.
Well, that's not good.
Understand it's pouring in York. And it is, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see how ominous it looks in the outfield. By the way, the heat index is 98. It is hot and humid. Pitch to Gindel, slapped up the middle, base hit, past the bag at second, and Sanford around third to score. Caleb Gindel right up the middle, drives in his 49th. Dan Minor had to dance a jig to avoid getting hit in the feet, and Gindel, now tied for second in the league in RBIs, makes it 1-0.
Gindel was the thorn in the side yesterday, led off the game with a home run, and Reached base 2 other times, this time delivering the first RBI hit of the game, but no different from yesterday. Down early, but his team's resilient, offense in every position in the lineup, so not too worried.
Here's Dan Gamache, first one missing, down and in, and Miner tilts his head, and again he's looking in saying, what is wrong with that? Boy, it's going to be a long night if pitchers can't get that. We've seen Bill Worthington struggle over here, usually when the sun is setting. The 1-0, that is just off the outside corner. You may as well just underhand it up there.
This is rough. A guy like Dan Miner, he's thrown in the low 90s, high 80s, but he's a guy that knows how to locate pitches, and those two looked pretty good to me.
Tejeda holds at first. Pitch is lined to right field. Base hit for Gamache. Played on a hop by Nina. And back-to-back singles. Like you said, Brett, Lancaster came out hot last night. Revs got things settled. But they do come out hot again tonight, and it's first and second for Terdoslavich. 1-0 Lancaster lead.
That's one of those things where you just have to kind of focus in now. Terdoslavich, he runs about average. Let's see if he can get one on the ground. Limit the damage.
He's hitting .282, 12 home runs. Miner the pitch. It is lined at second, caught by Castillo, who fires to Dent, but a little late. Gindel just snuck back in. A liner hit hard, but Hank flung the leather upward and speared it. Dent running through the bag at second made it close. That's out number 2.
Arm's fine.
Yeah.
Looked like there, got that paw up there quickly, and that was the arm that got hit. The left hand, his glove hand. Looked fine, reaction was good. And that would almost ended the inning just like we did. You're calling a guy that is 100% in one category this year, Destin Hood.
Yeah, he's batting 1,000 in strikeouts 5 times last night in his debut. Olympic rings. First pitch here is down low. He finally joined them after off-season back surgery. They have high hopes for him as a righty in their lineup with all these lefties that they have. The lefties built for the clip. Miner the 1-0. Swing and a miss on a fastball kept down in the zone. In fact, Lancaster 51 home runs as a team, and with all these left-hand hitters in that short right field, 37 at home, just 14 on the road. Guys like Gindel and Terdoslavich have hit almost all of theirs here. The wind is starting to pick up now. Swirling, blowing in. Pitch is shot foul the other way toward the Lancaster bullpen seating. On the first base side, it's 1-2.
Oh, boy. And you can start to feel it now from some of the fans. They know what's happening here.
Boy, that flag looks like it's going to take flight. It's almost blowing straight upward.
Good part for us to be on the mound. Those balls are going to die out there.
Pitch from Miner, a swing and a pop-up, of course. Tejeda ranging over from first. But this one is pushed way back onto the roof.
Trash blowing onto the field. Nina out there trying to pick up some napkins. Bullpen guys know right away, all right, let's grab our stuff.
The picnic area 10 and right looks like it might take flight. Might just lift off.
It's a mass exodus here in Lancaster. Fans leaving their seats. What could we have in store?
Batter's eye rippling in center field. Miner ready, trying to end the first. The 1-2, it misses low and inside.
Fans still arriving, questioning why they came out today.
Where's their tarp crew?
Well, the skirt of the tarp is blowing off right now.
Wonder how long until Rain follows this. Minor ready. The 2-2 almost hit Hood. They say it did hit Hood. They say it clipped his jersey. And the Revs aren't happy about that, but Skelton tells Mace that it did get a piece of him. It's tough right now because all of your apparel is rippling in the wind. And it easily could have been that, which made his jersey move, but I guess according to Skelton, it did get a piece of the uniform.
Yeah, it's a soft one to extend the inning and load the bases, but all eyes on the batter now, if you can focus. And more trash finding its way onto the field.
Andrew Applin is the hitter, lefty, who yanked a home run to right last night. He's hitting a .167 in his first week, and he swings here, slaps one the other way, base hit left field. 1 run in. Here comes Gamache. No throw from Dotel. It's a 3-0 Lancaster lead on a 2-run single, slapped the other way between third and short by Andrew Applin.
Guy really struggled in this first handful of games in this league, but strung together 2 nice ones against York. Had a home run last night, now a 2 RBI single. Same kind of look. We're down 2-0 last night to start, now 3-0, making it a little more difficult. It's one of those things where you just got to get out of the inning, as that inflatable slide is, my goodness.
It's crumbling. Tilting. Here's Parker Morin batting from the left, first and second. Pitch for Minor. It is just off the outside corner. We mentioned Bauman's 21 pitch first inning, but Minor's dealing with a hefty one now.
A 25 for Dan. This will be number 26.
I don't know why I feel like there's going to be a long wait before the second inning, though. 1-0. It is down low, breaking ball.
And that could be an early night for both starters if it's a long delay.
By the way, Sugarland at New Britain, they are in a rain delay at the start on our York Mitsubishi out-of-town scoreboard.
Well, misery loves company.
It is really whipping. Here's the 2-0. Swing and a miss on a high fastball.
I can't stop looking at that slide. Oh, there it goes. She's down now.
They were trying to deflate it because of the wind. I hope.
Yeah, that was definitely it.
Minor stares through the gusts. The gusts behind him more so. The pitch, it is swung on, slapped to short. Dent to his right. Backhands, long throw. Got him at first, and the inning is over. Nice play from Dent, but Lancaster scores 3 in the first on 3 hits. 2 men left on base. We go to the second tonight. It's a 3-0 Lancaster lead.
Are you one of the many people that has a 401k that is eligible to roll over, but you just haven't done it yet? Maybe you're not sure where was the best place to put it. I'm Tom Dasher of Tom Dasher Investment Services. I specialize in helping you getting your 401k and IRA money parked in the best place for you. So if you haven't rolled your 401k yet, or if you're not satisfied with your IRA, call me for a consultation at 487-2096. That's 487-2096. And check out my website at tomdasher.com.
There's a lot of talk out there about good health care. We all want a good plan. But step outside and take a good look at all those beautiful trees and shrubs in your yard. Do you have a plan to maintain their good health? Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care has a veteran staff of 12 fully licensed and trained tree health care professionals to rely on, including 10 certified arborists and 3 PA certified horticulturalists. So don't let your trees and shrubs fend for themselves against Mother Nature. Visit heritagelawnandlandscape.com and get world-class care right in your backyard.
Sports injury? Walk into WellSpan Urgent Orthopedics for immediate care. No appointment is ever needed. Our orthopedic and sports medicine specialists are here to treat you. Visit wellspan.org/urgent orthopedics today for hours at our York and Hanover locations.
The York Revolution plays here. Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Start the second inning, 3-0 Lancaster. Pretty bright flash of lightning in center as we get set to begin the second inning. Hopefully the radar over here in Lancaster isn't written in wingdings the way that it was in Southern Maryland the other night.
Yeah, hopefully they can get that on. The thing is, it looks like it's going to come pretty quick.
Carlos Franco will lead things off. First pitch from the lefty Bauman is up. Left on left, and Franco has hit about as well against lefties as he has right, over 400 against both. As he swings and lines one up the middle, base hit. It might be the end of his bat, right off the end of the twig, but he punches it up the middle, and another hit for Franco, who last night came back for the first time in a week from his own hit-by-pitch issue.
A lot of lumber has been snapped in what is now 10 innings plus here in this series.
Now Wellington Dotel, and what a climb this has been. He's on a 19-game hitting streak, hitting 300 now, and he swings and misses first pitch. Back on June 5th, his average was 234. He's hit 381 since. On the 19-game hitting streak, he's batted .423. Swings and fouls this one way off to the right. 3 for 4 last night with a homer. Drove in 2, which puts him over 40 in ribbies, 41. He's now 9th in the league in hitting. Tied for 8th in ribbies. He lays off here. Fastball just missed away. He's tied for 8th in total hits.
He's been a machine. A guy that you thought about through the first 4 weeks of the season would be an all-star. You'd probably have to think again.
Now ball outside off the glove of Moore, and it goes to the backstop, and Franco will advance.
On top of that, I mean, you're talking about a guy that played almost every single game that had to do that, and that changes things. Sometimes if you're struggling a little bit and you get hurt and you miss some time, and not to take anything from what Ryan Dent's done, but the number of at-bats that you have in the year, it's harder to climb that average up. And for Dotel to be at 300, that's quite amazing. Just shows you how good of a month he had, only outdone by Sportman.
Swing and a miss here. Cutter. And Bauman gets him on strikes. One down here in the second inning. Dotel will be headed to his third Atlantic League All-Star game, second with York. Here comes Ryan Dent, who, for as valuable as he had been his first 2 years with the Revs, is heading to his first All-Star game. And there was a big flash of lightning.
You got to love what you see here in this lineup, though. I'll break it down after this pitch.
Here is the first one. Fastball misses high.
You have Trapp coming in batting 300. Castillo's just a tick under that. Nash is leading the league in home runs and RBIs. Then you go somewhere along the lines of 340, 420, 300, 290 in the lineup. Crazy.
Pitch to Dent. That's outside. 2-0. Revs have 5 of the top 10 in the league in hitting in batting average. They have Tejeda, who's second, and then 7 through 10 ranking Sportman, Mesa, Dotel, Castillo. As Bauman misses high, it is now 3-0.
You have 2 guys on the shelf batting 300 too.
Hopefully it won't be too long after the break until they come back. Mesa expected back first. Franco at second, 3-0 to Dent. It's up and away. Walks him on 4 pitches. And Dent, who's been red hot, he had an 11-game hitting streak snapped last night. A lot of walks, though, lately as well. His 14th in the last 15 games, and that's puts 2 on for Nina.
I saw a dead sprint from the groundskeeper of the Barnstormers across towards the tarp. Now the skirt's being, put back on or taken off. I don't see a team down there with him yet.
First pitch to Nina, that's outside.
But you want to try to get this right now. You're feeling good. You got 2 runners on. Bauman is struggling. You don't want to really break out of any kind of momentum you might have. Pitch number 33 will be on the way.
Light rain has started as Bauman pours it across. That's a strike to even things up. Nina last night had a big base hit to start a rally, a big sac fly for late game insurance. 1-1, that's off the plate away. He comes in tonight hitting at 267, or 275, excuse me. 2 home runs, 11 driven in.
Killer of lefties, too. He's a guy you like to have pocketed down there in the 8-hole.
Yeah, he's over 400 against lefties. This Revs team is well over 300. You've got a handful of guys that have just tortured opposing southpaws. The 2-1, swinging a ground ball sharply past Gamache on a dive into right center. Franco is held as the throw comes all the way in home. Couple steps up the line, but that'll load him with 1 out for Skelton. And Gamache, for some reason, had flinched towards second, then tried to dive back the other way, and because of that first step, couldn't reach it.
I'm not sure if that was a guess, but if it was, he guessed wrong. Looked like a soccer goalie there on a penalty kick. Timely there with the U.S. women's national team doing really well. That game's tomorrow, I believe, right? The final?
And the rumor is they're going to show the entire thing on the video board here, which I guess would mean while we're playing.
Was it started at 11, I believe.
First pitch to Skelton, a swing and a miss, a cutter from Bauman.
And they start games at 1 here, correct, on Sundays?
Yes.
So you get most of it. I mean, soccer, it's painless as far as timeouts or anything because there are none, no TV timeouts.
Next one swung on, skied to left field. Hood freezes to read it. Now coming in, he misplayed it! And it lands in front of him near the line. He's going to throw to third, though, and still in time to get Ryan Dent, who's upset with himself for not going further toward third base initially. Hood recovers to throw him out, and it ends up being a fielder's choice, but Skelton gets an RBI on it. Franco scores, and the Revs are on the board. It's 3-1.
They're on the board, and at that point, with how shallow that ball was hit, you really can't blame Ryan Dent. They don't want to end the inning here when you have some momentum with a double play. Hood really is struggling in his first 2 games. That first struggle we saw defensively.
I guess technically he just grounded into a fielder's choice in left field. Here's Trapp, first and second, 2 outs, and Bauman dumps 1 in the dirt. A light rain is falling, but from what we hear from back home in York, it's not going to be light for too long.
Oh, it's starting to come a little bit more now. Fans starting to exit the stands.
1-0 to Trapp, and that's over for a strike. Rocky beginning for both starters tonight.
I'm just excited. You know, obviously I hate delays. I'm a man that loves his sleep, but being able to spend this time with you during a rain delay will be perfect, Errol.
It is. It's priceless, Brett. Pitch to Trapp, a swing and a miss, a fastball away. 1-2. I don't have a studio to retreat to here.
No, we'll just have fun here, figure it out, get some food, talk about life, guy stuff.
Can't wait. Here's the 1-2. And a swing and a miss. He gets Trapp up high. That is the second strikeout for Bauman, and the Revs will settle for 1 run. They are on the board, a run on 2 hits, 2 men left. And perhaps Mother Nature will allow us to go to the bottom of the second. It is a 3-1 Lancaster lead.
The malls and the internet are filled with places that sell running gear. But where do you go for performance track and field gear, technical help, and reasonable pricing? Flying Feet. Flying Feet Sports Shoes' reputation is widely known. They've been outfitting beginners to nationally ranked runners for more than 30 years, and their selection of brands and models is unmatched anywhere in Central PA. Training shoes, track spikes, specialty shoes for all field events. If Flying Feet doesn't carry it, then you probably don't need it. All this at prices that will pleasantly surprise you. Flying Feet's entire staff is knowledgeable of what you need. Beginners and pros come away from Flying Feet with the right advice and the right shoe for their needs. And that applies to the needed accessories, replacement spike elements of all sizes, shot and discus implements, running apparel and sports tights, and Under Armour performance apparel for specialty track and field equipment and the know-how without the specialty store prices. Flying Feet. Just off exit 18 of I-83 on Mount Rose Avenue next to Battery Warehouse in York.
Pete Picking one thing over the other can be hard.
Toast or avocado toast?
Ooh, 4 or 5-inch heels.
But with Pick Games from the Pennsylvania Lottery, drawn twice daily, picking's as easy as 2, 3, 4, or 5. Plus, add Wild Ball to any Pick Game for even more chances to win. It's simple.
Hey, what'll it be? Give me a pick 2, please. Oh, and add Wild Ball. I'm feeling pretty lucky.
Play Pick Games today from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Downtown's ready. Are you? The Revs play here. Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK, York.
Well, there you go. There won't be a bottom of the second inning, at least not yet. The grounds crew pulling the tarp across the field as we speak. Wind a bit of an issue. They have missed the right side of the infield, and now they are working to get it straightened out. It's a 3-1 Lancaster lead.
They pulled that right.
Yeah, they're a bit off on their aim.
The rain is not heavy enough, hopefully, for them to not be able to pull it. They're a little short-handed down there, at least for traditional Atlantic League tarp crews, but they are making a mess of this one.
Now, middle of the second inning, 3-1 Lancaster, and my expectation is this could last for a while based on radar, forecast, and what it was doing back home. And by the way, update from Connecticut, no game up there tonight. Sugar Land and New Britain postponed, so we have no scoreboard watching to give you on that front on our York Mitsubishi out-of-town scoreboard.
Man, yeah, this is so rewarding to me. And I don't want to see anyone struggle with anything, but to not have to run down there and put the tarp on, it's just a good feeling. I love the road, man. We have a good time here.
90% of the time, you're down there in the thick of it.
Yeah. I told you I was going to tarp from the booth this year. I can't leave my team down.
You made good on that last Saturday at home.
Yeah.
Now, the other division race right now, Long Island, a magic number of 1 to eliminate Somerset. Ducks are down 2-0 in the second against Southern Maryland tonight. Somerset, though, is trailing 1-0 in the third at High Point. And then, of course, the Sugar Land New Britain game is rained out.
Well, I want to know what's going through Don Kane's head. Man, just kind of championing it out. Weather not an issue for him. Dedicated fan. A hard-bodied fan.
Yeah, I have several photos over the years just for laughs of
him sitting through rain delays.
Him being the only one on the entire side of a stadium, not just his section, but he sits there with no umbrella, no poncho, no nothing. Just sits there. Whatever Mother Nature is going to do to him, it is going to do. And the rain is picking up here. Understand that it's still raining hard back in York.
I got the text, too, that it's pouring there, but, well, guess we just sit in and wait.
Yeah.
We can sleep in my car if you want, if we get out of here too late.
I'm good for now, but
I'm just saying, I want to throw the offer out there. It might be tight.
I'm going to have some dinner decisions to make here earlier than the fourth inning tonight. I'm not waiting until your fourth inning for my dinner tonight.
Not me either, but problem with the rain delay is now I have to turn into like the kid I was in the Phillies when they used to sell out all the time, or like the Eagles where you got to like weave through people. I'm a big guy, have to keep the elbows in. It's tough when it's a full concourse up there.
Yeah, it wasn't the biggest Saturday night crowd over here tonight, but they are all up under the overhang now. So if you want any delicacies, you're going to have to maneuver your way through that, which I guess is our immediate future. But this could be a while. And the last thing we want to do is make predictions, but if it is that long, I wouldn't be surprised if we end up playing 2 tomorrow. That is a possibility, I would think.
Yeah, I would say so as well. I mean, the weather doesn't look super ideal for tomorrow, but obviously you have more time in the day, and maybe. I don't want to make predictions, but if you were to ask me if I'd rather stay here to have a game start back up at 10:30 or play 2 tomorrow, I love Revs baseball. I've bled for it, but at the same time, starting the second inning at 10:30 might make it a little long. And not only that, a quick turnaround tomorrow to be back here up at 11, huh?
Might be a cranky final 7 innings of the broadcast if that's the case.
Never from us, though, right? We're the positivity tribe up here.
Your side of the booth, it is always sunny.
I try to.
Well, we invite you to watch on YouTube. You can see the tops of some heads probably right in front of our booth. Although right now we have a very clear shot at the tarp for your viewing enjoyment. But here we are, twice in 3 nights. Weather's an issue. The rain out at Southern Maryland on 4th of July, Thursday evening, that was only the second of the year. First on the road. And the other one was at home on Mother's Day against High Point. I never even shared the rest of the fiasco from Southern Maryland Thursday night. The post-game meal had been ordered for the players for a certain time, and obviously we were ready to leave well before that time. So we had to wait for the food delivery to get there, and that was the last snag in the plan on Thursday night.
Huh. Man, what an in-depth look. You never know what goes on behind the scenes, but I'm glad you share the light. For any of the advanced statistic fans we have right here, this is, in fact, the first rain delay for the Petrak and Henry radio broadcast duo to be on for, so that's kind of encouraging.
That sure is historic, isn't it?
I don't know what stats people keep, but if they want to.
Well, we'll be sending it back to Fox Sports Radio, and again, we'll have updates on Twitter at WOYK1350. And anything of concrete nature that occurs, we'll pop on the air to share that with you. But again, you can check out our YouTube feed as well and keep tabs and see that the tarp is still on the field, and I'm sure it will be for some time based on the readings and reports that we've gotten here this evening. So it's a 3-1 Lancaster lead, second inning. It was a Caleb Gindel RBI single in the first, and Andrew Applin 2-run hit. Revs scoring on a Skelton fielder's choice in the second inning, and that's where we stand, and it could be a while. Another flicker of lightning off in the distance. Now a 3-1 game. I guess before we break, Brett, we didn't get to promo all of our items, so let's give a plug for the All-Star game coming up on Wednesday. That'll be our next broadcast after tomorrow, and we'll be on at just about 5:30 on Wednesday evening. You get to call the Home Run Derby on radio. We will interrupt the herd for that. I'll be down in the field with Therm, who's coming back to People's Bank Park to commentate on the Home Run Derby. And then the game beginning at 7:30 on Wednesday night, the Midsummer Classic in York. Cannot wait. There's been so much preparation that's gone into it over the past 12 months and probably even beyond that, to be honest with you. And finally on Wednesday night it comes.
Well, I lived up to the name the Trash Man today, at least, talking about preparation. My goodness. No, we're doing a ton in all seriousness, and it's going to be a great event. I'm really excited to call the Home Run Derby, and I know you yourself, I'm really excited to meet a guy like Corey Thurman. I know you're going to be having a blast with him down on the field, entertaining the fans. And then we have ourselves and some of the other broadcasters of the Atlantic League for the All-Star game might come on and join us too. So if they want to, that'll be fun to broadcast that. We know all the players. We've seen all the players. So it's good to have some of them here and some of the ones we're seeing right now to be on the team we're cheering for, obviously. Maybe a little bit biased towards the Freedom Division. What do you think?
Yeah, and 8 Revs is a record, and honestly, you could consider it being 10 because Mesa and Sportman would have been no doubt shoo-ins if they weren't injured. But officially, 8 Revs will be in the actual game, and that is a franchise record. But the whole party out front gets started at 4:30. The Planet Fitness Judgment Free Zone on the Brooks Robinson Plaza, and all kinds of stuff going on out front on Wednesday night, and then the Derby at 5:30, the game at 7:30. And it should just be an awesome time. You can get some last-minute tickets at YorkRevolution.com. You can still get in, but get them before they fill up for Wednesday night at People's Bank Park.
Don't forget, I'd be remiss if I forgot to say that we will also have the largest fireworks show ever set off in our stadium. Again, the largest ever. So that'll be a blast to be able to watch, no pun intended. But my goodness, it's been a lot of work, and it's been a great time. So I'm just looking forward to actually having the big-time game here. It's once in every 8 years, so if you haven't thought about coming out, maybe you should change that because we have put in the work.
I hope, you know what, this is going to sound weird. I hope it's more than 8 years because I hope the league has more expansion before
Oh, my
that.
goodness, yeah. I mean, how could you not? I mean, the one thing you'd have to worry about by far with expansion is, losing me over here. But aside from that, then, yeah, more expansion. I don't have to worry about it. I'll come back and see you half the time and be good.
Well, now the Lancaster coaching staff, umbrella in hand, they're making their way inside. As the Revs have done previously, pretty much everybody back in the clubhouses now. So, yeah, the All-Star game just a few days away now, and we'll see if we have a game yet tonight or if it ends up being 2 games tomorrow. Who knows what we're in store for tonight, but
there's no doubt I'm taking Diamond Doug over every on-field host in the league, but got to give some credit to the fan down there, or I think they call her Crazy Claire or something like that here, but she is really soaking it in, if you will. Another no pun intended situation.
She does live up to that name. She's one of their on-field people here. I know Doug's listening tonight, though. You don't even have to go to the rest of the venues to know that he's our pick. But we'll send it back now. We'll send it to Fox Sports Radio. Revs trailing 3-1 here in the second inning in Lancaster. Stay dry wherever you may be tonight. And we'll be back with you at some point, hopefully with good news, here on Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK.
here are the 3 winning raffle ticket numbers for the
Back here at Clipper Magazine Stadium, they have just called it for tonight. Tonight's game postponed. The Revs' 3-1 deficit in the second inning will go away and will never be spoken of again, but it has continued to rain, still hard, and judging from the forecast, it's going to be that way until probably 11:30 or midnight tonight. So finally, they decided to call this one. It'll be our 3rd rain out of the season, 2nd in 3 days. Now, we have not heard any contingency plans for tomorrow, but I would assume using common sense, whatever little bit there may be of that in my head.
Well, the both of us, really.
That's true. We are in this together. We would assume 2 7-inning games beginning at 1 p.m. tomorrow, and that we would have a 12:40 pregame time for you. But nobody has announced that yet. And we do have a bus to catch back to York, so I don't want to wait around all night to try to find that out. But, of course, we'll have it on YorkRevolution.com and on Twitter as well. But Brett, kind of it's a good thing. You know, Minor had a rough first inning. Revs were down 3-1. You get a start over, but kind of a bum night. We came into this. Doubleheader tomorrow.
2 7-inning games tomorrow, beginning at 1:15.
2 7s at 1:15.
Well, interesting that they would delay the start time by 15 minutes to play more baseball, but
probably because they're going to carry the soccer game on the video board.
Yeah, that's what they just said. So 1:15, and we'll get here, and it takes a little bit for us to get going anyway. Obviously, we get here pretty early, but being able to watch the U.S. women's national team will be a little bit of a nice touch before we go on air. So that's pretty cool. I guess barring they don't go into extra time or stoppage time or penalty kicks, right? Then there's no way they could fit that in.
Yeah.
Unless they played that while the guys were playing baseball, which I don't think so. But, again, like you said, Dan Minor, a little bit of a rough outing today, so that's all erased. It never happened. We will never speak of it. And we'll come back in and hit it hard tomorrow, Daryl, for 14 innings of the last action of first-half baseball on what has been such an exciting end of the season or end of the half run for this team, and with Sugar Land being washed away too. Today has just turned into a giant wash.
Yep, a bum night from that standpoint. We came in hoping for some first half, some developments in terms of the race, but none of that will happen tonight. They'll be playing 2 tomorrow as well, and I would assume that the first game would be the first half game, and the second one would be the second half game. Their game tomorrow was scheduled to be a second half contest, but they are rained out as well, so just a giant dud of a night from that standpoint. But the Revs, and I've said it before recently, in fact, the ironic thing is that in the affiliated minor leagues, we would resume from this point. That's the way they do it, but the Atlantic League plays by major league rules, so I guess in theory Thursday night at Southern Maryland would have resumed 1 pitch and 1 batter in if it was a different league, but we play by the major league rules and start over. So good from that standpoint, and we'll do it again tomorrow with an airtime of 1 p.m. with the 1:15 first pitch for 2 7-inning games in that doubleheader. Now, the Revs won't be – now this is a little bit of a problem. They burn Minor tonight. They won't be able to use him tomorrow. They have Ian Thomas starting the one game. Not certain what they're going to do for the other one. Probably Duke could come back and go, but
Well, it's kind of tough because you did throw Walter. Walter was set to go in that washout on Thursday, but you threw him 2 innings, so he's completely out of the question. Phil Walby, a guy that has made some spot starts. Maybe it's one of those times where in just a 7-inning game you need to get someone that can throw 3. And before the middle relief had started this year, Pete Tago, he's a guy that he pitched well, might be able to come out and give you a nice strong open for 1 or 2 innings. Julio Perez. Earlier in the year we'd be talking Jamison McGrain, but he is firmly planted as the closer now. So it is interesting, what they're going to do, especially if they have to tap into the pen in that first game, especially with Thomas starting to get stretched out but not going routinely over 100 pitches or anything like that. One of those things we'll have to just let come to us, and it'll work itself out normally. Cesar Cabral, a guy that was brought on, might be able to see an extended look at him. Quiros, got a lot of options.
Yep. Well, we'll be on at 1 o'clock to tell you all about it tomorrow. Revs will try to make it a new longest winning streak in franchise history as they'll go for their 9th in a row, 6th in a row on the road, but no baseball tonight. Before we leave you, we will give you one York Mitsubishi out-of-town scoreboard involving the other race. Long Island's magic number is 1 to clinch the Liberty. However, tonight they are trailing at home to Southern Maryland 5-2 in the 6th, and Somerset is winning their game 2-1 at High Point going to the 9th inning. So if those scores hold, there will be no celebrating on the island just yet. And that race will extend to tomorrow with, again, the Ducks' magic number at 1. The Skeeters' magic number is also at 1 to eliminate York. But Revs tomorrow will need to win 2 games, have the Skeeters lose that first game tomorrow, which will be their first half game. And then, if all that happens, we'll be talking about a win and get in makeup game at Southern Maryland, but all of that stuff has to happen first. So no game tonight. They will shoot fireworks off here in a few minutes, but the rain continues to fall heavily here at the Clip. And we'll say so long for now. For Brett Petrak here with me, Daryl Henry saying good night from Lancaster. Again, a rain out tonight for the second time in 3 days. Yeah, we'll be back with you tomorrow at 1 p.m. for the doubleheader to close the scheduled first half right here on Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK. Good night, everyone.
Thank you for listening to York Revolution Baseball on Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK. Catch the Revs all season on York's only place for local sports. Tune in 20 minutes before first pitch for a trip to the clubhouse with player interviews and the manager, Mark Mason, every game. Listen throughout the day for the Revs Report and check out 98.9 WOYK.com for highlights and features on York's pro team. York Revolution Baseball all season on Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports. Now we return to our regularly scheduled programming already in progress on Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK, York.